with a camera.
Live from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport in Texas, this is Runway DFW in color. Now, here is your host, Walt Zwerko.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be on this big blue marble. It's 8:01 p.m. in Seoul. It's just afternoon in London, 4:31 p.m. in Mumbai, 9:01 p.m. in Sydney, and here at Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport, it's 6:02 a.m. just about. Welcome, everyone. We're glad to have you with us on this Friday, August 11th, 2023. It's dark, it's a little windy, but we're going to bring you some aircraft here in just a moment on this edition of Runway DFW. Stand by. So here we are. We're about to welcome American Airlines Flight 2342 coming in from San Antonio. There you see me rustling in the wind, aiming camera number one towards the northern sky. Let's see how much of this we can see here. Well, there it is. This flight from San Antonio. In the foreground, that's our RC camera. Now this is going to go behind some trees, and we're going to lose sight of it for a minute or two. We're here at Dallas-Fort Worth Founders Plaza on the northwest side of the airport, overlooking runways 18 left and 18 right. Occasionally we'll pick out a plane from the sky over there on the east side of the airport. We're in a slightly different position this morning. So we have a couple of obstructions in the way as we watch the planes coming in. The reason for that, however, is because of the sun. As you may know, it's been really, really hot in North Texas, and a lot of the world, actually. And my iPad just slid off. But I've kind of positioned myself in a way that once the sun comes up, if it is not obscured by clouds, then we'll be able to get a little shade from an overhead structure that's just to the east of us here. So there you see one of two, one of three MD-11s that UPS has over yonder. Two of them came in while we were on the air, and do we have some downtime now? A little bit of downtime. We're going to play back the one that arrived just before we went on the air. Let me get rid of that. I wasn't anticipating that. There we go. I believe this plane came in from Rockford, Illinois, from the Chicago area. And it touched down, as you can see, the real-time clock there at 5:45 a.m. So it's about 20 minutes ago. I looked at my watch, and I don't have my watch on. I don't have my watch on because my wristband was really bugging me. It was kind of irritating my wrist, so I've had to give up on that watch until I get a new watch band. But that's neither here nor there. There is this plane coming in and landing and touching down. And I think through the miracle of videotape we can skip ahead here. It was kind of a nice sequence as it came towards us. You can kind of hear it there. And as you watch that, we'll set up for the arrival of American Flight 399 coming in from Anchorage. That'll be an Airbus A321neo. So that will be live. This again is recorded at 5:48 a.m. So a lovely look there at the, I don't know, the Prince of the Skies, the Duke of the Skies, I don't know. We've got the King of the Skies and the Queen of the Skies, I know that. Still trying to get my tripod loosened at this point. So that'll wake you up, right? That famous silhouette. Okay, we're going to go back to live now as we await the arrival of this American Airlines plane coming in from Anchorage, and there it is. Hey, we had a successful time filler there. So once again, that's the flight from Anchorage. And now, I think I get a chance to welcome all of you to our little shindig here this morning. MR Rice says, good morning, Walt. Good morning to you. Our friend and moderator and channel member Bill Platt is here. Thank you. Scott McLean says, good morning, Walt. Layla Bergman is waving something at us. Unfortunately, our software doesn't display the
94 ready for departure, 18 left.
The little icon that's there. Arthur Rompai says, good morning.
Line up and wait, 18 left, Delta 984.
A few trains at is here. Good morning, Walt, our great mods, and everyone watching. Thankful my boss has rearranged my 1 p.m. meeting to 3 p.m. so I can watch live. Well, you're making a sacrifice for us. Thank you. A few trains at. I think we have a plane that's getting ready to take off over here, but I can't see. Oh, there it is. What we got here? We got Delta ready when you are. Flight 984 to Los Angeles and Airbus A320. I don't think we have sunrise for another 35 or 40 minutes now. Of course, the days are getting shorter here in the Northern Hemisphere as we've passed the summer equinox. Ethel Bailey says, good morning from Cody, Wyoming. Brian Henry says, good morning, Walt. We may be in the area later this morning, so if so, we will stop by and say hi. Well, I hope you will, Brian. Brian, a member of the channel.
American 940 Heavy Libra. From the box, about 133. 18 right, clear to land, American 940 Heavy.
I really should have started an hour earlier today because there was a very rare occurrence. We had 2 FedEx planes land on this side of the airport. They almost never do that, including an MD-11. And we had a Korean Air Cargo 747 land during that time.
Hard left turn, 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 2095.
But I think we'll see the 747 go off during our time here, which will continue through 9 a.m. Central Time, if everything works out all right. We have a heavy jet next to arrive. It's going to be a Dreamliner Dash 8 coming in from Santiago de Chile. It has been in the air for a little over 9 hours now, and it's going to be landing here in just about a minute. Well, we'll preset camera A for that. Catch up on some of our notes here. Ray Anderson says, good morning, Walt. Mary Extraordinaire says, hi, Walt. Good morning from Kingston, New York. Hi, everyone. And hello to you, Mary, a channel member. Irish Dublin, another channel member, says, good morning. You're in Houston, I think. Is that right? Henry Moore says, good morning, Walt. Somil Bandari says, good evening, Walt, the mods, and fellow aviation viewers watching from India. So it's official, we're around the world this morning thanks to Somil. All right, that's a plane off in the distance over on the east side of the airport, maybe? Yeah, I think, no, that may be I think that was that little plane that went by there was a Southwest plane going into Love Field. We are waiting, however, for American Flight 940 from Santiago, and I see it, and you'll see it here in a sec.
American Line 62 Heavy, left base for visual for warning right. Yes, sir, we are. I'm sorry, I missed that last transmission.
Jeffrey Booth says, good morning, everyone. Hello to you, Jeffrey. Channel member Josh Aldrich with a good morning greeting to not just me, but to everyone. Thank you, Josh. Dr. Mark in Texas says, hello, Walt. Thank you for sharing. Henry Moore says, Walt, I have a question about how do I become a mod. You just make an inquiry to me at my email address, which is easy to remember. It's walt@runwaydfw.com. And I can communicate with you about that possibility. Thank you for your interest. Renee Middlecoop says good morning to you all. Wisconsin Dave, the channel member, a valued channel member, says good morning, Walt and crew. Irish Dublin confirming that it's been hot down there in Houston town. Chad Hart, Arizona Seattle Seahawks fan, says good morning, DFW. He too is also a channel member. Somil Bandari says, love that MD-11 tri-jet, and yeah, we've got to really zero in on that while we can, because they're not too long for the world of U.S. air cargo, at least not as far as UPS and FedEx are concerned. Aviation Mike says, hello to all. switch scenes over to another MD, which this one just came in while we were. I think this is the one that we saw landing on that recording. Aviation Mike liked the MD-11 time filler. Henry Moore says, how do I become a mod? Morning from Sydney, Australia, down under. Yes, anybody who's interested in being a mod, there are a few requirements, not onerous, but if you just inquire at Walt, this is an email address, walt@runwaydfw.com. That is how to reach me, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Channel member Yin Cafe Spotter says, good morning, Runway DFW Walt. Happy Friday to you and to you as well. And they say, hello everyone, hope everyone is well today. Hey, we've got another heavy aircraft coming in here. It's another, is that a Dreamliner? Yes. Get caught up in your messages. So our second Dreamliner of the morning came in from Sao Paulo. A 9-hour and 39-minute journey from the Southern Hemisphere. And now it's going to be quiet again for a few minutes. James Tocchini, good morning, Walt. Checking in from next door to Denton Enterprise Airport. That's a small general aviation airport where I once did a stream very early on. I was out here at DFW one weekend afternoon having a lot of problems with connections as far as the internet goes. So I packed it up here and I just went to that airport just to see if I could make a connection there, to see if it was me or if it was, you know, if it was my equipment or if it was the internet at the airport. So did a little stream from there once, just watching general aviation planes coming and going. Wasn't really interesting. I think it's still posted there somewhere, but on our channel. So I have done one stream from Denton Enterprise Airport. I'm still catching up on our messages here. Joe Smith says good morning from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. Traveled the Caribbean 2009, which is quite a while ago. Morning, Walt. I'm actually on a Delta 737 right now. We're at the gate waiting to push back Delta Flight 2767 from Columbus to Atlanta. Then a Delta 757, Delta Flight, that's a long message, Delta Flight 1555 from Atlanta to Miami. Well, safe travels. Travel the Caribbean 2009. Renee Middle Coop says good morning from, I don't know how to pronounce that, a town near Rotterdam in the Netherlands. Spichkens? Kenies? I'm sorry. But welcome and good afternoon to you. Good morning from Kentucky, says Big Dave 486. Ravindra Hedge says good evening from India. So we have at least two viewers in India this morning. Mary Robinson says good morning. Marie Isbell, a channel member, says good morning, Walt, mods, and everyone from California. John Kelly Grant, also up early in California, says good morning, Walt. Have a great day. Travis, Florida, or Fort Lauderdale, USA, says good morning from South Florida. Sun and record heat today. Channel member Ralph Rife says good morning, everyone, and Walt. Well, that's me. Aviation Mike says hello, Walt, from American's other hub in Charlotte, North Carolina. A few Transats wonders if the MD-11s will go to another smaller operators. I remember seeing a similar tri-jet when Epic Toastman was streaming at Miami. So long as they don't end up with Aerosource or Aerosucre. I guess maybe that's one of those enterprises that takes planes apart for parts. Yeah, I mean it's certainly likely that at least some of these MDs will go to smaller, perhaps third world cargo operators. Or even smaller U.S. companies that see they might have a supply of MD-11 pilots that are looking for jobs, and the parts might still be available. Obviously, as they get older, it's harder to keep them in the air safely. So I don't know the answer. Chuck Topo Chico Tolsma, a channel member, says good morning. Hello, Chuck. There's a nice breeze here today, Chuck. You might want to come out, but it's going to be, from here on in, it's 86 degrees now. It's not too bad, but it's just going to get really hot from this point on. Rawhide, good morning from South Euless, Walt. Good morning to you, Rawhide. I should have had some more planes that I had on standby, because we're not having a lot of luck as far as planes go today, but here's one. Hey. This birdie is coming to us by way of Los Angeles. It's an Airbus A321, American Flight 2781. There are the broadcasting towers of Cedar Hill there in the background. About 22 miles away from here, something like that. And that trip from Los Angeles, about 2.5 hours. Sikander Durrani says, howdy from the land of sugar. And he's referring to, of course, Sugarland, Texas. Point the camera towards the east there. We'll get a little preview of our sunrise. So there is quite a bit of cloud cover over us, at least right now. So I may not have had to employ the... I'm going to tilt up a little bit. We don't have... This is not a very wide lens. I'll tilt up a little bit so you can see what I'm doing here. There is a canopy right there. We're parked a little bit to the west of it, so that when the sun comes up in the sky, this canopy will give us some cover. But we may not need it this morning because of cloud cover. Let's see when sunrise is. 6:49. So we're still 20 minutes away. Is that right? Still 20 minutes away from sunrise? I guess that must be right. We have a plane. Stephen Brooks is our newest subscriber. Thank you, Stephen. Easy to subscribe. Just hit the subscribe button and it's free, 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 free. So it's about, because we weren't having much in the way of action here. I thought maybe we'd do the weather forecast. Well, as you can see on the screen right now, it's 86 degrees here at the big airport. We are going up to a high today of 108 degrees Fahrenheit. And you wonder why I transmit in the morning here. We're going to see 100-degree temperatures right through Monday. We'll go down to 99 on Tuesday for a high, and then it's 104, 106, 105 as far as the eye can see. So we're having a very hot mid-summer here in Texas with not much of a break. I don't remember. I think last year it was a lot cooler. I mean, relatively speaking. But you play the cards that are dealt. And that would have made a great transition if this had been a plane, but it's a Spirit plane. This one's going to Chicago O'Hare. It's an Airbus A320neo, flight 2704. So that's where that yellow bird is going. I didn't say anything about the wind, but you probably can hear the wind, especially if you have your subwoofers hooked up. The airport says the wind is coming out of the southwest at 20 miles an hour. No wonder I feel a little wind blown this morning.
Brad.
Yin Cathay Spotter says, I love my lemon planes. Jane Welshie Lady says, hello everyone. Here from Barry, Wales in the UK. Or from Barry in Wales in the UK. And the sun is shining.
Left clear for takeoff. Spirit wings 2704.
Off to the Windy City it goes.
On to departure, good day, sir. 774.
From the Windy Airport. A few Transat says subwoofer and obedient dog. Didn't mean to play that. I was looking for my buttons aren't labeled here. I thought I had a. Ah, there it is. That's what I was looking for. That's what I was looking for. Okay. I'll know where it is next time. Mark Yaxley checking in from the UK.
835, we're with you for the visual 18, right?
William Weiss, not a fan of the livery of
Roger.
Spirit Airlines. And it looks now as though we're getting our... This is a grass mowing crew? I can't remember. We saw this same trailer on... when were we here last? Wednesday? I think we were here on Wednesday. So this does not necessarily bode well for activity on runway 18 left here. I guess we'll see what happens. There's Terminal B. Looks pretty empty this morning. Where are all the planes? We did have a flight come in from Honolulu while we were setting up. We expect to see a plane from Maui come in, which of course has been devastated by wildfires. Now I'm looking to see if that Maui flight is in the vicinity. Well, I see another Honolulu flight, so that'll be the second one of the morning. The first one may have been a special one, I'm not sure. Flight 115 is coming in on a 787 Dreamliner. That will be here in about 9 minutes. And usually there's another flight from Maui, although it's certainly to be expected that there may be some interruption to the regular schedule for any flights coming from the islands. Trying to bring you some more of the sky here, but again, this camera that I'm pointing at has a fairly narrow field of view.
American 835.
Brian Henry says, Walt, I wonder why Hawaiian Airlines doesn't come to DFW. Is it because American covers that route? I know Austin gets a Hawaiian flight. Those are all true things, and yeah, I don't know the answer, but my suspicion is yes, because it might be a little too competitive with American, or perhaps, well, you know, kind of along the same lines, Hawaiian might feel that they've got more opportunities in places where they don't have as much competition from a major airline. If you look real close in the lower right-hand corner of your picture, you will see our broadcast location for From the Penthouse, which we did a almost 2 weeks ago now. We're up there on the 18th floor, overlooking the east side of the airport. And we'll go back there again. We're about to see coming in Flight 835 from Louisville. That's American Airlines Flight 835. It's going to be a 737-800. So we'll just hang out on this picture until that plane comes into view. Jim Werline says, "Good morning, Walt from Savannah, Georgia." Hello to you, Jim. Chuck Tolsma says, "I have a new TV and I'm seeing things I've never seen before." Oh, you mean on this channel? It is a little different experience when you watch, if you're used to watching things on a phone or on a tablet or on your computer screen. It really, when you put it up there on a 55-inch or 65-inch or 75-inch screen, it does look quite different. Mostly in a good way, I think. So there's the flight from Louisville.
Delta 4 on this side. 0.85, clear cross.
Rick says, "Congrats, new TV, always fun." I don't know if people are buying TVs as much as TVs used to break a lot more than they do now. At least that's been my experience. I mean, we had a TV which was getting kind of old in the tooth, but it was still working really, just fine. We had it was an HD TV, and we weren't yet into the 4K world. But we finally broke down and got a new one, even though the old one still works fine. Getting a sip of water here, as not that hot yet, but the humidity is kind of, I feel a little bit parched. Stand by. Mark Yaxley, who, as I recall, is in the UK, says 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Too hot for me. I can just about handle 70. But see, now, if you're used to this kind of weather, this is almost refreshing to be standing out here in 86 degrees with a breeze blowing. So we've got two MD-11s side by side, both with their cargo doors open, but I don't see any cargo activity right now as far as moving containers in and out. So there's one. It's almost going to look like a twin picture. I'm going to switch to the other picture now. They're almost lined up exactly the same. Oh wait, those might be exactly the same. Maybe I'm looking at the same plane. Hold on. Oh yes, I was. Sorry. There. Well, it's kind of still the same. A, B. A or B. 1 or 2.
Line 1 red American 2854.
So it's your runway DFW eye test. Well, we're going to test your eyes with American Flight 2854 from San Jose, California. A 737-800 it is. I had to remember which camera I had punched up so that I didn't swing the camera around crazily. Okay, so what did we say we're going to see here? We are going to be seeing
Morning, envoy 4192, visual on your right.
Flight 2854 from San Jose, American Airlines 737-800.
On your right, clear to land, envoy 4192.
Stephanie Hutchison says, good morning, Runway DFW, mods and all. Happy Friday. Thank you, Stephanie. A happy Friday to you. My grandson was wearing a shirt last Sunday which inexplicably said "Fry Yay" on it. So Fry Yay. And my grandson had his first day of second grade yesterday, and I talked to him on the phone last night. And he was very excited because he has somebody in his class who he said is a YouTube influencer. And I said, but Mason, I'm a YouTuber. I'm on YouTube. And he just wasn't excited about that. He was excited because his friend and his friend's brother are on YouTube. So I'll have to send him a link to this clip so that he can see that I did talk to him. I did, because they were going to mention, his friends were going to mention Mason, give him a shout out on their channel. So Mason, this is your official shout out on Runway DFW. I hope you're excited about it. I don't think you will be though, but. And happy Fry Yay to you, Chuck. Wait, an eye test on Friday? Didn't see that coming. But a few trains at has an excuse here. Where did that go? Totally blaming these on my parents who have been sending me WhatsApp messages of a dad joke nature.
Yes, sir. Where are we going next, sir?
Stand by.
I like dad jokes.
Roger. We got 3 minutes remaining.
I'll let you know before you're done. Car American 2854.
Well, we're coming up on the official sunrise, but I don't know how much of it we're going to see.
Ground 25, American 2854.
Here comes a plane from Houston, Texas. A little higher than I thought. As you can see, it's an American Eagle Embraer 175. Flight 4192. And things are really cooking now. We've got that American flight from Honolulu about to come in.
Negative.
This is going to be Flight 115 from Honolulu, 787-8.
Say 750. Gotcha, 730.
And there it is, kind of peeking from behind our camera 3. So we see it from in the distance. It's gonna lose sight of it here for a little bit due to vegetation. And maybe we'll catch a glimpse of it here.
Stop 11, wing left open. Give us a holler when you're ready for us.
Clouds are really handsome this morning. I'm going to switch out our primary camera in just a minute so we can put on a camera which has a wider lens.
American 1980, line up the way, 18 left. American 2272, thank you.
So, aloha to the passengers on that flight, some of whom could possibly have had some direct experience with those terrible fires in the islands.
I see cross left, 0.85 on the other side, American 115.
Renee Middlecoop talking to our moderator Bill Platt says, I've seen quite a few streams at airports, but this is one of the better, maybe the best. Well, thank you. Thank you for saying that. We try harder. There's an Airbus A321. The passengers and crew aboard flight 2586 are on their way to Las Vegas.
Tower American 1108, checking in 18 right, parking on west side. Clear to land 18 right, American 1108.
John Michael said, good morning, Walt. I'm wondering if you got your car back. Whatever happened to the Runway DFW satellite truck? Well, it's still here, of course, because we can't go on the air without it. But as far as seeing it, I was planning, in fact,
clear for takeoff, 18 left, American 1980.
I was talking with my lovely executive producer last night, who was also had that question about seeing the satellite truck, and my intention was to have set up a camera for it today. Because it needs its own camera, of course. And it was just a little too windy to set that up today. So I'm going to try next time. The flight that just came in is from Oklahoma City. And there goes the Vegas flight.
Visual 18 right.
A little double play there.
18 right, American 261.
This is Runway DFW.
In the morning.
Departure, American 1980.
And welcome on in. It's 6:53 here in the central zone. The sun has risen, I think. I'm going to have to take off the autofocus here.
Cross 18 left with fine ground, 0.85, American 2250.
Because we've got a water fountain in the foreground, and so I had to take it off autofocus so we could see. And I think there's the sun rising back there, kind of peeking through a little tear in the morning overcast clouds.
Tower, good morning, American plane 782, visual approach 18 right.
American flight 3525 coming in American Eagle flight coming in from Colombia
Visual approach, east and
on an Embraer 175 is about to grace our skies.
Good morning, sir. Clear flight 18 right. American 2782.
And it is going to need to get out of the way rather quickly because right behind it is incoming a flight from Detroit, American Flight 1108. And I think after this flight comes in, we're going to switch out for our daytime
Cross my
camera.
left Golf 8, ground point 85, on by 3525.
And here it comes.
DFW Tower, American 2266 on the visual, one right.
So I think I'm going to do one more thing before we switch out the cameras. We've got
Clear one right, American 2266.
a UPS Airbus A300 coming in over on the east side of the airport,
I'm with you.
arriving from Little Rock. So I think we will endeavor
Cross,
to bring you a bit of that before we switch our cameras out. It should be coming to us. This will be at a distance, and we'll get to see it in close-up view pretty soon here because it will pull into the UPS depot right behind us, or right in front of us. Target acquisition is not working. There it is.
American 2745 is 12 miles, visual 1 aircraft. Airline 1 right, American 2745.
Cross 18 left to Whiskey Lima ground point 85, American 261.
All right, so now we're going to switch out cameras. Let me punch up this one over yonder. You can see what I'm up to. Turn this one off. Unplug. Get out the big case. Put on the lens cap. Tuck it away. What was that? No idea. I think we have one of our super cargo masters out in front of us here. Plug number 1. Plug number 2. And you don't see anything because I didn't connect it. There we go. Okay.
Traffic 6, back up to the 72.
Well, we have 2 super cargo masters spread out in front of us. Well, one of those planes dates back to
1995.
Which one is it? N78SA.
That's 18 right, hold short, 18 left.
So that's the one, that's 1995.
20 right, hold short, 18 left, Mark 666.
And I think we have the attack of the...
Whiskey Lino, cross, 20 left, Whiskey Lino, 20 left, 13.
That's not the sound of a super cargo master there, that's the sound of a John Deere. Well, it beats a sprinkler. That's all I can say. If you are a regular here at Runway DFW, you know about the sprinklers.
It should be 5267.
That Frontier flight there,
Recycle back.
flight 9226, has Georgia, the painted bunting, adorning its tail. Oh, that's a pretty bird.
Okay, hold short of Bravo for crossing traffic, runway 3828. Take your future with left line for lane 268.
What was that landing there? Flight 2745 from Grand Rapids. It's our friend Honor, right? Honor?
Yeah, hey, Will.
Pleasure to see you. How you doing?
Awesome.
You back at school yet?
On Tuesday.
Next Tuesday?
Yeah.
You excited about it?
Yeah.
Okay. How's
If I say hi to you.
Okay, high speed,
Sure.
hold short of 18 left, Golf 8, American 27.
come out over by that microphone there, Honor.
West.
Is that blue microphone there? It's our friend Honor. Okay, so tell us how your summer's been.
It's been awesome.
What have you been? You've been flying because you're a student pilot, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So how's that going?
It's been awesome. Last week I had a 5:30 a.m. flight lesson.
5:30 a.m.
Yeah, it was dark.
It's still pretty dark then.
Yeah. I started school on Tuesday.
You what?
I started school on Tuesday.
Oh, well that's for someone who's going to be a pilot. School is important, right?
Yeah, I know. Are you in pilot school?
Am I in pilot school?
Yeah.
I know nothing about being a pilot. Sorry.
Hey, guess what? I also got this flight live ATC app. It's like you can listen to live radio on the
Take off 18 left on
airport. It's air traffic control.
Well, you'll have to get used to that if you're going to be a pilot.
Yeah. Someday I'm gonna be a future pilot in the sky. It is my second time doing this because I think last time was like a few months ago in May. I did also this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're a star.
I got here at like 5:45.
5:45.
Yeah. I like to come here early in the morning. Like I like early morning flights.
I do too, because especially when it's so hot outside.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I like it when it's dark, but then it becomes daytime.
I know.
Like you don't have to stay in the dark. You can just make it become daytime when you're in the sky.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, you look like you're just waking up there.
Now I'm just stretching. That's all.
Well, thank you for stopping by.
You're welcome.
We're glad to talk to you again. And have a great day. Bye-bye. That was Honor. And we are honored to have him as part of our Runway DFW family. Chuck wants to know if anyone knows if the YouTube video is upscaled on a 4K TV. I'm new to this. I don't think so. Well, I mean, it depends on it. Well, I may be wrong about that. The higher end TV you have, the more computer processing it will do. How's American Eagle Flight 3269 from Longview, Texas, a 40-minute plane, interrupted there briefly by the groundskeeping crew here at DFW International Airport. And, you know, what they do is important, especially since it's been so very hot and dry here. We had a little bit of rain a day or two ago, but... Well, here's our first Sun Country plane of the morning. Going to Cancun, no doubt, yes? Yes, it is. It's a 737-800 going to Cancun.
2256 Netty, runway 18 right.
And as it gets ready to go out, we're going to get ready to watch American Flight 2558 coming in from Fort Lauderdale. An Airbus A321. Come in, A321.
Target point number 3558, there's a 18 right. Yeah, on by 3647, 18 right. One right, clear to land on way 3647. Clear land, wing right, 3558.
18 left, clear for takeoff, Sun Country 503.
680, DFW Tower, open wait for Martex 680. Target 2540, there's still 18 right. Clear lane 18 right, 2540.
Cross 18 left, hold short 18 right, American level 769.
Clear to land 18 right, course taxiway Bravo, runway 3647.
Contact departure, Sun Country 503.
Cross 18 right, Charlie to Park, American local 679.
American Flight 2256 and Boeing 737-800 coming in from Columbia. 2 hours and 17-minute flight.
2026.
Abraham TG says, hi, good morning from India. This will be our third viewer making themselves known from the subcontinent. Happy to have you here.
East America 266. Whiskey Mike Culture, runway 18.
And Honor, who was just talking to us, wants to let you know that he's 12 years old, so
Runway heading 18 left.
he is quite an amazing young man. There goes one of our super cargo masters. Once again, that loud noise you hear is the groundskeeping crew here at Founders Plaza. And I am occupying some of their mowing territory, so.
Speed, hold short.
Channel member Trish B says, good morning, Walt, from warm and muggy Orlando, Florida. Where your show and a nice cold brew coffee go together very well. Well, thank you, Trish. Hey, look at that.
Right, heading 240, contact.
It's a white-nosed Spirit aircraft.
Tower Runway 3818.
How did that happen? That's Flight 343 going to Cancun, an Airbus A321, and yeah, that nose is, one of these things does not match the other, as they say. I'm trying to get my tripod to settle down here.
All right, quick cross 18 right, Charlie to park, UPS 9749 heavy.
I'm at the line, 18 left, clear takeoff, third wing, 343. High speed, hold short, 18 left, on Salt Bay, Envoy, 3558. And tower on Woodford 558. We're on Echo 4. Should we take Whiskey Lima? Whiskey Lima 3558.
Line up 18 left, bar 666.
Alright, come on in, 18 right, and next to Bravo, American 2226. Envoy 3047,
Here comes a Max. We still don't see too many of those here. I'm seeing more. That was American 2540 from Omaha, a Max 8. And here comes that, remember we saw that A330 or A300 come in earlier? Seems like about 20 minutes ago. Well, here it is. It came in from Little Rock.
2540, I think we're going west.
I was off by a few minutes. It arrived 14 minutes ago, according to Flight Radar. But that kind of illustrates how long it can take to get from one side of the airport, this landed over on the east side, to get over to this side of the airport. Nothing it's going to pull right in there, isn't it? So we'll add an A300 to our collection.
475 with your visual approach on runway 185.
Sorry, I got to cut away for this TWA livery. TWA American Airlines Heritage livery.
Alright, we'll give you an S turn to the right, gonna land 1A right on Roy 3475.
Always a crowd pleaser. We can tell you that just touched down from Des Moines, Iowa.
East side.
The 737-800, painted in
Echo Alpha, short of 18 left.
one of the liveries of TWA, one of the final liveries of TWA. Of course, they had many over their
left, fly runway heading, Martech 666.
storied history.
Good morning, Scott 4926 is outside of lug race for 1A right.
It turns more perpendicular to us. Well, it's not doing that there, is it? I thought it was going to make a little more of a left turn instead of a right.
Yeah, we sling it right down, sir. Just keep us posted as you want us to do.
Aviation says love that TWA or TWI plus A livery.
People on the heading push to Martech 6. See ya.
Terry M is checking in from West Michigan. Says good morning. Have a great Texas plane spotting day. So far, so good. Been at it for a little more than an hour.
Cross 18 left, Gulf 8, ground 25 on Boy 30.
Another super cargo master in our presence. Martinair.
Alright, cross 18 left at Alpha 165 top rate, 22.
A Cessna 208B super cargo master.
Cross 18 left, Gulf 8, ground 25 on
1988.
So that little guy's been flying around for 38 years. 35 years, sorry. Abraham TG says TWA is a very old airline company, isn't it? Well, it of course went out of business. TWA did. Got bought up by American, or merged with American or whatever. It was too late to see it. These were two young ladies over there who were polishing off the little monument there.
Empty park, double take up runway in North American.
That American Eagle flight came in from Stillwater, Oklahoma, CRJ 701ER.
On Blair, 18 left, clear for takeoff on board 3518.
It's American Flight 1811. It's off to Omaha. 737-800. There goes American Eagle Flight 3518 to Houston.
Departure, American 18 left, morning. American 1098, please go 18 right.
Got a pair of American Airlines
Go down 18 right, American 1098.
jets over there.
RNB Park, clear for takeoff, 18 left, American 1899. Good morning, 3518.
Appreciate that. Line up for white 18 left, American 2007.
Alright, that's all safe. Cross runway 18 left, avoid 3761.
There's a baby bus going to Oklahoma City, Flight 1899.
Go departure, American 1899.
I believe it's going to be Flight 2007. American Airlines A320 going to Houston. Houston Intercontinental.
American 2261, visual 1 right.
2261, get to the side, right to the left, 1
Jane Welshie lady said, saw the British Airways A380 pass by my house yesterday and today back to London Heathrow. Amazing. Yeah, it is a pretty amazing plane to see. And it is back at DFW now after a brief absence of about a week. British Airways was subbing in its 777s there for about a week or so. I think they were all 777s. Maybe they had some other aircraft in there, but the 380 was not flying here for about 7 or 8 days. I don't know what the reason was.
High speed, Echo Alpha, hold short, 18 left, now 3142.
That plane just vanished. So we'll just have to make another airplane appear here. Voila! Coming in from Kansas City is this Airbus A321, American Flight 1098. Remains very overcast here at the big airport.
American 2007, go on. East American 10-8. RNF B Park, 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 524.
American 524. An Airbus A321 is going to Los Angeles.
There, Runway 3454 is visual 18.
What happened to our focus? I'm going to have to deal with that.
Short final runway 18 right.
Right, clear land. Approach switch to fleet.
Our B camera has lost its focus.
Plenty right, clear to land. They left us really high, so we're doing the best we can on the speed. We'll slow as quick as we can. Alright, S to the right, approved on Void 3454. We'll start that in. Mark 2753 is 11 out, 1 right.
Flight 2261 arriving from St. Louis.
1 right, American 27.
737-800.
American 524, good morning.
Alpha Cross 18 left, 65 past the bridge, got 7142.
2361, east side, American 20. Cross 18 left, Whiskey Lima, American 20.
Cross 18 left, Alpha, ground 65, American 1098.
Camera has ADHD this morning, says Garrett. Did I miss it? I missed it. It's an E-Jet. Flight 3621 coming in from... Where is that? Jackson, Mississippi. All right, so we're going to show you the sky here because somebody had mentioned it. We have a nice wide-angle lens here. Darylane Monroe says the sky looks quite stormy. Well, I guess it's got some potential for weather. There you see the canopy that would be protecting us from
18 left, American 2569.
the rising sun if the sun was a part of the sky this morning. We should take this opportunity to do this. You are watching Runway DFW live and in color from DFW International Airport in Texas. We are at Founders Plaza on the northwest side of the airport, overlooking runways 18 right and 18 left. And we'll be here with you for about the next 90 minutes, unless the weather has something to say about that. Bringing you all the fun and action from one of the world's busiest airports. So thanks for tuning in, wherever you may be around the world. Rob Blackman says, good morning, Walt and DFW families. Thank you, Rob. Channel member Dwayne C. says there were storms around Abilene last night, leftover clouds. Here's a flight going out to Kansas City, flight 2569 on a 737-800. So we've got mowers. We've got string trimmers. We're just getting all tidied up here this morning on Runway DFW. There was an Airbus A319 coming in from Cedar Rapids, Iowa. Flight 2753. There's an outgoing flight out of San Francisco on that Airbus A321. Flight 1272. It's kind of gloomy here today. Yonder is a flight from Denver, flight 2612, an Airbus A321. Yes, that is a bit incongruous to hear a jet plane landing with a two-cylinder engine providing the background sound. Channel member Kevin Kelly says, Walt, we do have a 747-8 coming in from Anchorage at 8:47. Well, that will be a nice way to end our broadcast, if that schedule holds out. You're seeing there American Flight 1343 headed to Cancun, Mexico. here you see what we're up against. It's okay. It's all right. Bill Platt says, is that lawnmower powered by LNG, liquefied natural gas? I don't know. It's probably propane. Is that the same thing? But yeah. Garrett says, I've lived in North Texas all my life and still not used to our heat. I'm sure it would be quite a shock to anyone who is coming from a more moderate climate. As you can see, we've got a couple planes lined up for takeoff. There's actually two in that shot. Well, one going over the bridge, and then there's a third that is not in the shot. So in the foreground, you can't really tell. Got a flight to Lubbock, Texas, a flight to San Antonio, Texas. And a flight to Sacramento, California over there somewhere. Ah, the smell of propane in the morning. Looks like the flight to Sacramento is getting first dibs. You see it entering your screen there. It's an Airbus A321, flight 1677. Headed to the California capital. We have been subscribed to by the Spaceman 42 channel. Thank you, Spaceman 42 channel. A subscription to this channel is free. And after you, after a 10-minute waiting period elapses, you can then chime in and participate in the chat. So here is an Airbus A319. It's American Flight 795. It's going to Lubbock in West Texas. Seen this in a little bit. It's the DHL mustard and ketchup livery 767, which came in from Cincinnati. It's operated by ABX Air, and in recent episodes of this channel, we've been seeing planes branded as ABX Air fulfill this mission.
A blast from the past, 1992.
So hiding behind those little equipment sheds is that 1992 vintage aircraft. It says August 1992, 30, so I guess it'll be a little later this month. It'll be celebrating its 31st birthday. So happy birthday to registration number N372CM. Why are you hiding from us like that? Does Kevin or Jerry, do they ever get lawnmowers in their streams? I don't think so. I think not. We widen out a little bit. We are seeing the sun here, kind of peeking out. So maybe we did do the right thing by parking ourselves over here to take advantage of some shade. Garrett says mustard and ketchup. Now I want a hot dog. Well, Garrett, I'm kind of a traditionalist. No ketchup on hot dogs for me. Mustard and sauerkraut, that's what I put on my dogs. Well, for those of you who are planning to come to DFW Airport later today, the Airbus A380 flight by British Airways, flight 193, is now lit up on the radar. Coming from London. It is due here just before 5 o'clock local time at DFW, so if you're in the vicinity and you enjoy being out in the 105 or 6 or 7 degree heat, be my guest. But yeah, I've pretty much determined that our gear is not, unless it were a very special event, I'm just not going to subject our equipment to that kind of weather if I can help it. We just saw, taking off there, American Flight 1523 to Denver, Colorado. What you kind of partially see in that shot, and what it's kind of partially in that shot too. Nudge, nudge. And now the wind is having its way with our tripod. This is American Flight 2593 to Minneapolis, St. Paul to 737-800 on Runway DFW on this Friday morning. All right, a brief respite for us here. Chad Hart, Arizona Seattle Seahawks fan, says, Walt, would you consider airline videos and yourself streaming from the penthouse? It would definitely bring in more subscribers for both DFW and airline videos. Well, I think it did help with our subscriptions. You know, it increased the interest level of our channel. Kevin is another matter. He's got a lot of people watching his channel, but yeah, he may, you know, it's possible he might want to consider that for at least one of his broadcasts the next time he comes to Dallas-Fort Worth. You know, it has its advantages and disadvantages over there at the penthouse, excuse me. One of the main advantages, of course, is that we get a view of the east side of the airport that we had never had before. But it is a little further away from the action. So it's, you know, even if I could do it every time, I don't think I'd want to. I like this location here at Founders Plaza. This is flight 222. Take 2. This is flight. No, that's. Now I let go of the tripod, and that's what happened. Let's see if we can get back to this. That is flight 2269 off to Santa Ana, California. A 737-800. Bill Caldum from Southwest Arkansas is checking in. Good morning to you, Bill. Jane Welshie Lady says American Flight 79 left London Heathrow at UK time 12:20 p.m. due here in Dallas at 4:08 p.m. our time on a 777. And yes, regrettably, we won't be here to see that arrive, but American has, I think, 4, maybe 5 flights to London a day from here, and that's, of course, in addition to the British Airways flight.
Yeah, we just have our checklist around. We actually have our numbers, but they told us to call you when we're ready, so we're going to do about 4 or 5 minutes.
And now hot dog talk from Spaceman 42 channel. I prefer barbecue sauce on my hot dogs. Well, I can't say as though I've ever tried that. Spaceman 42 channel. Our pal and channel member Luke Mold says, good morning, Walt. Good morning, mods. Good morning, aviation family, watching live from Masterton, New Zealand at 12:45 a.m. on Saturday morning. Have we ever been on at a time, Luke, when it's not a crazy hour for you? Let's see, when we're on at night, I don't know, I've lost all track of how I calculate time, but I'm glad you're here with us. Raina Taylor, our friend and Quad Jet channel member, says, good morning, my friend Walt and everyone. I bring you greetings from my horse show in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm practicing today. And as many of our regular viewers know, Raina is a Special Olympics equestrian champion, and when she's not on her horse, she's somehow watching us. So thank you for watching, Raina, and good luck to you in your next endeavors. Mark Pell says, I bet a decent dressed up hot dog runs about $10 in the terminal these days. Yeah, I can't speak to that. I suspect you're probably right, but I haven't been to a terminal food court at an airport since pre-pandemic days. Since 2016 was the last time I was on the other side of the security barrier. And Raina Taylor says her competition begins on Sunday morning, so you got a little time to practice there. Raina, good luck again to you. She always lets us know how she does, and it's usually some medals or trophies involved, I would say. I'll swing around here to bring you a head-on shot of this 777. This is American Flight 9845. It will eventually be going to Los Angeles, but right now it's just headed out of the hangar area. It's scheduled to go out at 9 a.m. So there you go, a nice look at a 777 making a turn. Looking to the east now. There's the east tower there on the right side of your screen. We done a multicam shot today? No, we haven't. So there you see all three of our cameras at once today. We were going to do a fourth camera, but it was a little too windy this morning, so mayhaps next time.
Heavy.
Did I hear it cleared for takeoff? I think I did. And it's not, it's that 777 we saw. So let's go back to that. So it just came right out of the hangar and it's taken off for LAX. So apparently this is a repositioning flight, Flight 9845. And, you know, it's possible it has something to do with what's happening in Hawaii. Now, this is going to Los Angeles, but it might be needed out there to bring people back from Maui and from other parts of Hawaii that have been under having those wildfire outbreaks.
Good day, 9845 Heavy, thanks.
American 367, yeah.
Lighting up.
And 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 367.
Lighting up the radar now is Korean Air Cargo Flight 256-747 bound for Anchorage. So we'll be seeing that in just a short time. Coming out of the West Cargo area here. In the meantime, I believe we've had a clearance for takeoff for Flight 367 there on the right. It is going to Phoenix, Arizona, an Airbus A321neo. And there you hear that pleasant music to notify us that Armand V, a channel member, with a super chat of $35, 35 South African Rand, says, watch your Computer Corner Windows 95 debut video, a trip down memory lane. I enjoyed how you asked Bill Gates why it wasn't called Windows 96. LOL. Yeah, I'd forgotten all about that. My interaction with the man himself, Bill Gates. Comes a Delta plane over the hump. And thank you for that, Armand. Ooh, no, bad news from Luke Molds. My rugby season has come to a sudden end thanks to a broken ankle. Someone landed on the bottom of my shin, top of my ankle, so now I'm in a moon boot and on crutches. Oh, Luke, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, your team still needs you, so I'm sure you'll be there on the sidelines to cheer them on, but wishing that you were out there on the pitch with them.
Tower American 2269, fully ready.
Bradley Sika says, good morning.
Arnav Lerna, or Laren of 18 left, clear for takeoff.
Farming with
American
Millar wants to
2269.
know, do you use live ATC? I don't. We actually pick up the air traffic control on a radio live, because the live ATC has a delay to it. So we have, I'm going to see if I can show this to you here, if the tripod will lock. So we have this little Uniden scanner, and we just dial it in on the frequency we want. We can scan if we need to, but and we can tune to an emergency channel if necessary, but for the most part we just leave it on the West Tower. So that means you get to hear the air traffic right as it's happening. Now, if you can listen to, if you make an arrangement with live ATC, we could probably broadcast their version of it, but it would be on a delay, much the way if you hear, satellite radio or anything that's digital, streaming TV, if you're watching something live, it's always going to have this delay to it. Now, of course, there are countries in the world where you cannot rebroadcast ATC. I think I know that Jerry doesn't use it in England. I think there's some restrictions there, although I think there are some other YouTubers in the UK who do utilize ATC, but there's no problem with us doing it here in the USA.
Alright, Arnav to be parked, right 1 pick up. 2269, Departure to morning, American 2269.
Zevi Holmes says good morning from Maryland. And channel member Greg G, who we met in person here, it was a month or two ago, says, hey from Santa Fe. And we have a new subscriber. His name is Mike Moore. Thank you, Mike Moore. See if we can pick up this. Did I miss it? No, there it is. It's a United baby bus.
respond.
And that Airbus A319 was off to San Francisco. And this is the non-American Airlines portion of our broadcast, ladies and gentlemen, because there's a Delta A319. It's going to Salt Lake City. This one's just out of jingle range. It's from the year 2000. So again, we don't jingle any 21st century aircraft here. Just not what we do. So there's a baby bus double play for you. And I know I heard from one of our European viewers that baby bus may not be the accurate description for an A319. Is this a triple play? It is a triple play. There's 3 A19s in a row. So anyway, the A318 is known as the minibus over in Europe, and the A319 is the mini. Wait, the A318 is the baby bus, and this is the minibus. So we've got 3 in a row, 3 A319s in a row from Delta, United, and United. This one again is off to Denver. It's flight number 1586, as we see an American jet in the foreground. And some mowing equipment clearly in the background. And I have to say, sometimes I don't make the right decisions as to our location. But today I believe I have. Not because we're in the middle of groundskeeping here, but because the awning that is just to the east of us is about to block the sun from us for the rest of our broadcast. And we'll be here for till 9 a.m. Central Time, so. Well, hey everyone, you are watching Runway DFW, live and in color, the final hour from our perch here in the friendly confines of DFW Founders Plaza. Got lots of action to come, including a 747 Korean Air cargo flight, which is just about to make an appearance on its way, I believe, to Anchorage. And so hang out with us for another hour, well, maybe more like 50 minutes of broadcasting from your pals here at Runway DFW.
This is Runway DFW.
It's fun!
So, what we're going to do now is see if we can catch the start of progress. I kind of think I see it already. What we're looking for is this 747, Queen of the Skies. Flight 256 is going to Anchorage. It's a 747-8 variant, 11 years old. And you see it's kind of hiding from us behind that blast fence, but pretty soon we'll get to see it in its full glory. It's sky blue glory. Is that how they say the color of that plane? Sky blue? Not sure about that. Powder blue? I don't know. Channel member Vince, Las Vegas says, "My, it's early. Good morning, Walt and friends." Hey there, Vince. Bill Thompson says, "In the U.S. there are no A318s flying, so it is correct for here," he says. I think Air France still flies the A318s and just one other airline, perhaps, in the world. Not too many of those around. I've never seen one in person. And it wasn't clear, but it is possible that we may have another 747 arriving just before we leave. So maybe I'll check on that right now. Scanning the skies for 747s. Yes, we've got one coming in from Anchorage, an Atlas Air. Be here in 38 minutes. So we will get you double 747 action this morning on Runway DFW. And where are we?
On the World Wide Web.
We haven't had too much for the jingle singers to do this morning. Saw a couple of those Martin Air Martin Airplanes, those Super Cargo Masters.
Looking at the spacing, any chance we could sidestep 18 left?
This is good, actually. We're matching speeds at 3 miles behind. We were small, but it's pretty easy.
Okay.
I won't delay you getting here.
So Her Majesty pauses there as a plane lands, waiting to cross 18 right, where that plane just landed. And channel member Kevin Kelly alerts us to the imminent arrival of Japan Airlines, I believe it's Flight 12, which is 12 minutes away. Beaker and Honeydew checking in. Morning, Walt and everyone.
Visual 18 right. That was Gemini 1001.
Gemini 1001, 1111, report line on runway 18 right.
18 right to land, Gemini 1000.
Bill Platt says American Flight 1119 passing the west side is doing about 10 minutes or so, carrying Alma Martinez, who is a viewer currently in the channel. Wow. How is that possible to watch it from a plane? That was it, though. 1119, which just came in. Here, we're gonna. That's it. That's that's Alma Martinez's plane.
Okay, cross 18 left and grab 25.
So welcome to DFW. Sorry we didn't get your full arrival there, but wave coming in from San Luis Potosí. So there's a little souvenir of the end of your trip, or maybe it's the beginning of your trip. So this plane's going to Anchorage, and I believe we'll be making we'll either be making a left turn if it needs some more runway, or a right turn if it's got enough runway where it is.
We enable intersection because full length screen 256 heavy. Cross only 1 left picture of Foxtrot with Foxtrot full length screen at 256 heavy. Thank you.
So I'm not sure if I understood that transmission correctly. I thought the captain said something about full length. So maybe it needs a bit more runway to take off. There's no other planes in its way right now over here on the west side. Here comes a Global X, the Global Exchange plane. Which operates as Redway Airlines coming in from Lincoln, Nebraska. And we saw this first couple weeks ago when it started flying. It's what's called a scheduled charter airline. So Redway charters these planes from Global X or Global Exchange, sets up a schedule, and then operates them.
West Terminal Delta 6.
And I believe that's your only option to get here from Lincoln, Nebraska, at least on a non-stop flight.
Alright, cross 18 left on 12185, Whiskey Lebanon Gemini 1001.
All right.
American 1034 Netty.
Back to Queen of Skies.
American 1034 Netty. Clear land 18 right, American 1034.
And because of the position of the sun, we're going to get a very silhouetted look at this takeoff. But yeah, I guess it's requested. This plane has requested the full runway. we should see a nice, long, leisurely takeoff here.
1 there. I left the B part. Clear for takeoff. Runway 256.
Runway 3007.
Via Alpha short of 188 on 437.
If you're just joining us, good morning, everyone, or afternoon, or evening, wherever you may be around the globe. And we do have people around the globe today, this morning. We are at DFW International Airport in Texas, USA. We're watching Korean Air Cargo Flight 256 begin its journey to Anchorage on a 747-800. It's an 11-year-old aircraft.
So Alpha 18 left, and we're going to the Bravo terminal. We're going to the Bravo terminal this morning. Tower Japan 12 heavy, going right. 18 right, clear for Japan heavy. What's that? Alright, we'll hold short 18 left at Gulf 8 behind the regional. Cross 18 left, ground 0.85, American 1034.
Well, it did indeed use up a good chunk of that 2-mile runway.
Copy 180 left and 18 right. Ground 85 on 263 west.
West side.
263, Whiskey Lima cross 118 west,
Whiskey Lima cross 18 left, ground 25 other side, American 2256.
256, heavy kind of close.
Contact departure, clear now 256.
Tower, good morning. Skyway 4936, established inbound. Visual 18 right.
4936, to the tower, approximately 31, call heavy 777, and 17012, testing 16, total land number 18 right.
Total land 18 right, Skyway 4936.
All right, we're going to swing around real quick now to catch Japan Airlines Flight 12 from Haneda in Tokyo. It's 777.
Visual 20 right.
430 to the channel.
Gonna land 18 right on board 30.
712 Heavy at Whiskey Lima, cross runway 18 left, and then contact ground 25.
At Whiskey Lima, cross runway left 25, Japan Heavy.
I think the last time we were here, this aircraft was directed to land over on runway 13 right out of our sight, so we only got to see it taxiing over to Terminal D. We didn't see it landing. So, okay, I gotta catch my breath here. Catch up with your messaging.
Line of away 18 left, American 2767.
And Lance Cole referring to that Queen of the Skies. So that's one heavy. Mark Pell says the Korean jet took more than 45 seconds to rotate, used over 10,000 feet of runway, heavy fuel and cargo. Yeah, we've seen...
good morning, Envoy 3624 inbound for the Beachshore, runway 18 right.
We've seen 747s take off from the... from the short tee, you know, like about almost a third of the way down the runway, they've started their roll, and that's, you know, generally if they're light or they're not laden with intercontinental fuel. So that was interesting to see. Proud Army wife says, "Good morning, everyone. Good morning to you." Joseph Robinson says, "Good morning, Walt and DFW viewers. Always enjoy seeing the Queen of the Sky take off." I do too. I really love that plane. And he says, "That was beautiful to see. Thank you for giving us that long view. You're the best." Thank you. What else we got here? Talking about A318 talk. Air France and Tarom regularly fly the A318, as do two airlines in the UAE, a couple in China, and a company called Calair operates one in the US. Wow, that would be a plane spotting find. Have to be on the lookout for that. Tony G says, "Good afternoon or good evening, morning all. Another warm day for you." Yes. Lance Cole. Walt greets from the UK. You've got two Lances in the stream now, loving the DFW action. Thank you, Lance. And we have a bit more action for you before we go in about 35 minutes. It's kind of quiet right now, but it does get busier as we approach the 9 o'clock hour, and we are expecting... We're expecting to see, and you can see me sitting down here, and we're just now catching the shade, so good planning, Walt. We are expecting to see another 747 landing this time. This will be an Atlas Air coming in from, I believe it was Chicago. So there's that. I was looking for...
We're ready on 4574. Run up to land, clip takeoff 18 left on board 3774.
There's that JAL triple, which you saw land live on Runway DFW just a little bit ago. It's still making its way over to Terminal D, the international terminal. And of course, we've talked about it before, but where you see that structure, that overhead structure there, that will soon provide the rail service, the inter-terminal rail service to the new Terminal E. No, I'm sorry, Terminal F. Yes, Terminal F, just to the south of Terminal D here on the west side of the field. Just double checking on the flight from Anchorage, the Atlas Air flight coming in. It's another 747-800. It's coming. It'll be here in 23 minutes. So just before we go off the air, we should be seeing it landing right in front of us. And yes, I know we don't see as much here in the way of 747s as you might see in, I don't know, an Anchorage or an LAX or a Miami. So we have to savor them when we see these big planes.
Alright, crossing 18 left on Whiskey Kilo and ground on the side of Wigan. Departure 3774.
Well, more things are happening here. We've got flight 883 American Airlines coming in from Querétaro, Mexico. It's an Airbus. It's not an Airbus. It's a 737-800.
Yeah, west side.
Chris FX says, love your views of the runway. Thank you, Chris FX. And DFW never sleeps. Gets a little sleepy at in the dead of night, but you get to the middle of the night. Sorry, I had to clear my throat. I don't know if it's fully cleared yet. Let me get a drink of water here. You get to the middle of the night here, and there's often a rush of planes over at the UPS facility. They've changed their schedule recently, so I don't know if that's still necessarily the case. That is American Flight 452. It's an Airbus A320. It's going to Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a pretty short trip. Oklahoma is the state just north of Texas. It's on top of Texas. Roger Enderton is our newest subscriber. Thank you, Roger. I spy a FedEx 767 coming in from Fort Lauderdale. Now it's coming in on the other side of the airport, on the east side. Just a 2-year-old 767 freighter. And I think we're going to try to bring that to you.
RNAV Park, 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 452.
So we're going to go to long range mode here. It is too bad they're not bringing it in over on this side, because we got two pre-show FedEx aircraft over on the west side here, landing in front of us. One of them was an MD-11. this should be it. Kale Emner 747,
My left 5 point over.
our newest subscriber. And we hope if you are just kind of watching and lurking that you'll consider subscribing. There's Sir Revsalot. And we have a 10-minute timer, so if you're a new subscriber, after 10 minutes you can, if you wish, join in the chat. Because the chat on this channel is exclusively for members.
Good morning, American 1066 inbound 18 red.
Thanks, 1066, prepare 18 red, cut away.
Clear land 18 red, American 1066.
Now the reason the FedEx planes generally go over to the east side is because their facility is on the east side. In fact, when we were at the penthouse a week or two ago, we were overlooking the FedEx air cargo facility. It is not as big as the UPS counterpart over on this side.
Alright, B Park 1 left, clear for takeoff on 3426.
Mark Chandler says Jerry of Big Jet TV was in Anchorage last week. He returned home via Chicago O'Hare. Unfortunately, his bag took a side trip to DFW with American. Well, I hope he got it back. I guess he knows where it is, so that's good. Yeah, that's a... Whenever you got to change planes, that's always a concern. This is an American Eagle E-Jet. I have not had the opportunity to cast my eyes down to the Flight Radar 24 screen. Ian Bowers is our newest subscriber. Thank you, Ian.
Envoy 3426, from departure, Envoy 3426.
Trying to realign our cameras for the multicam view. Greg G says nice camera work. Thank you, Greg.
American 1293,
So look, you're getting kind of the same view as our control room sees in the Runway DFW truck. Mark Pell says, checking in years ago for a flight to Pittsburgh on U.S. Air, I asked the gate agent to send my bags to Cincinnati. She said, no. I asked, why not? You did it last month. And Mark with an update on Big Jet TV's bags that arrived back to to London Heathrow on American Flight 20 from DFW at 7:30 the following morning. So glad you got your bags back, Jer.
Right left, line of boy, envoy 3619.
As for our three MD-11s that are parked across from us, we'll give you the full view here in a second. From camera 1, there they are in wide view. None of them looks like they're imminently departing. As you can see, the two on the right have their cargo bay doors open, and the one on the left, let's see here.
Alright, B Park 1 left, clear for takeoff, envoy 3619. 9520, prepare 1 left,
Line up runway at American 520 for 18
Can't
left.
tell if this is... Yeah, it doesn't look like this one's going out. I didn't see it on the schedule.
RNAV Laren, 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 520.
You're about to see American Flight 520 going out to Phoenix, Arizona in Airbus A321 Neo.
Echo Whiskey Mike.
That's it there.
Echo Whiskey Mike, short 18 left.
But I think we will track
Departure 3619.
American Flight 1296 arriving from Indianapolis, Indiana, on an Airbus A321. So, Uncle Car Guy, if you're watching, here's a flight from Indianapolis.
Okay, RNAV to B Park clear to take off 18 left, runway 3457.
On a point 918 left, American 2610.
See you later, American 522.
That's American Eagle 3457 to Fort Wayne, Indiana on that E-Jet.
American 2788, 10 out on the visual 18 right, parking west.
There we got a Hoosier State double play there. An arrival from Indianapolis and a takeoff to Fort Wayne.
RNAV Laren, 18 left, clear for takeoff, American 2610. Envoy 3983, to prepare 18 left, not a void. 18 left, not point, Envoy 3983. 2788, to prepare 18 left, for the way, 18013. Fly right away, American 2788.
Kevin Kelly with a nice comment. Walt, nice stream today. Thank you, Kevin. Got about 20 minutes left in the broadcast, and which will be capped off this morning by an Atlas Air 747 coming in from Anchorage.
For departure, have a good day, Envoy 3457.
1953, to prepare 18 left, not a void, travel across.
18 left, life away in American 1953.
American Eagle Flight 3271, CRJ 701ER, arriving from Roswell, New Mexico there.
To departure, American 2610.
Aviation Emily says, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you, Aviation Emily. Glad you could join us for the last few minutes of our
RNAV to B Park, 18
journey.
left, clear for takeoff, American 1953.
American 1953. Wait, did I say American Flight 1953?
1953.
I haven't had a chance to use that jingle. It's an Airbus A321 Neo going to Los Angeles.
Which is departure, Envoy 3983, so long.
Runway 3373, visual 18 right. Envoy 3373, to prepare 18 right for the lane 110.
Thank you, Riff W, for a $3.01 tip. That was sent in by PayPal, so thank you.
Cross lane left, ground 185, we'll see you. 1571, cross 318 left, out route, 165 on the bridge. 1066, cross 318 left, contact 925. Cross lane left, ground, the other side, right.
Yeah, so I've never jingled a flight number before. That's something new here at Runway DFW.
And 1296, crossing 18 left, and 0.8 on the bridge.
We don't have jingles for all the flight numbers, I have to say, so don't worry. Arriving from Colorado Springs, American Flight 2788, a 737-800. Coming in there on runway 18 right. Well, the airport says the wind is down to 13 miles an hour. It was listed at 20 earlier, but it still seems kind of blustery, I'm gonna say. There is American Flight 2128. It will be destined for McAllen, Texas, 737-800. And there it is, entering the shot. Sorts of motorized vehicles here in the vicinity today. As you can see, we've been afforded with some shade.
We are American 1174. 1174, continue straight ahead, then full wing, cold short, 1 left. Alright, straight ahead, full wing, cold short, 1 left, American 1174. 2722 on out the B park, 1 left, clear for takeoff.
On B park, 1 left, clear for takeoff, American 2722.
And envoy at 3424, visual 1 right. Envoy 3373, hold short, 1 left. Hold short, 1 left, 1 2,
That there is American Flight 2722. It's going to Reno, Nevada, 737-800. Cue the birds. No? Lots of birds in the vicinity this morning. Stay away from the engines, birds. I wonder how often that happens, that a bird gets ingested into a jet engine. I think I've been here on 2 occasions when I've heard air traffic talking about, watching out for birds, or a pilot saw some birds or thought they might have hit a bird.
Line boy, 1 left, American 1174. And forward tower, gain 8136,
And obviously that can have catastrophic consequences if you're a 2-engine plane and you've got birds in both engines.
departure, American 27.
I think that's what happened to Captain Sully Sullenberger when he had to put down that jet on the Hudson. We've got flight 2195 coming in from Salt Lake City, American Airlines to Airbus A320. We'll zoom out, bring you that arrival here on runway DFW. Just a few minutes away now from that Atlas Air cargo from Anchorage. Time is going by very quickly this morning.
2880, visual 1 through that. 2880, you can start 1 through right, number 1. Clear that 1 through right, American 2880.
And the Anchorage flight is now just 2 minutes away, according to Flight Radar 24.
RNAV Lair, clear for takeoff, 18 left, American Eagle left, 74.
Preceding it will be American Eagle Flight 3424, an E-jet coming in from Fort Wayne. We just saw one going out to Fort Wayne, so I guess that's appropriate. So we're looking to the north, the northeast, kind of. Actually, try to bring you as much of this 747 as we can. See that one-way sign there? And there's our third camera there. It's actually a phone on top of the car. But coming up from behind there, we should be able to see the 747. There it is.
2720, you can start 18 left, not avoid.
18 left, American 2720.
Now our shot's going to get kind of interrupted here a couple of times, but
Good day, American 1174.
so there's a tripod. There's a blurry Queen of the Skies coming into sharp focus and hiding behind some trees.
Good morning, American 537 on about leg right, inbound for 1 right.
537, you can start 1 right for the leg, cross for curve, front heavy jet, short final 11013.
Clear to land 1 right, following traffic coming from the sub.
Envoy 3424, hold short 1 left. Hold short 1 left, on the way to 424. X1683, you can start 1 left, flat away, you ready to go?
Line up and wait, 18 left, American 1680.
Well, I've seen the A380, the King of the Skies, land a bunch of times here, but I just never get tired of the
20 left, clear for takeoff, American 1680.
747.
4996, you can start 1 left on the wood.
20 left, 749.
We've been photobombed.
Envoy 3881, you can turn 1 left on avoid.
20 left, line up and wait on board 3881.
Envoy 9860, crossing 1 right, hold short 1 left.
18 left, 98.
It's an 11-year-old aircraft, and we're about to see the last of it here on runway DFW. Bye-bye.
East, American 2880. 2880.
All right, well,
Alpha, hold short 1 right, American.
you know, all good things must come to an end, as must this broadcast from DFW Airport.
Envoy 3424, cross, 1 left, contact ground 25.
Cross 18 left, Envoy 34, cross 1.
Envoy 9860, cross, 1 left, hold for the Foxtrot, contact ground 25.
But before we go, we have some things to say to you. We would like to say that Runway DFW has been brought to you by our channel sponsor, James Webb. Thank you, James, for your financial support and your equipment support of this channel. Much appreciated. Also to Airline Videos Live for supplying Runway DFW with battery power. Thank you to Kevin at Airline Videos Live for that. Appreciate it. And of course, we must say thank you to the Runway DFW Moderation Federation, who poke their heads in here and keep track of what's going on. Thank you to all of you for doing that. And now we're going to say thank you to all of our members of the channel. Yes, Runway DFW has memberships, and if you want to take part in that, you'll find the information here online. But right now, let's say hello to all our members as of yesterday, because I can't make this up as I go along. So this is as of last night. Here's our member list. That's going to do it for us for this Friday, August 11th, 2023. Thank you all for watching from around the world. We'll be back soon. Hit that notification bell, that way you will know when we will be coming back. Maybe this weekend, maybe early next week. Don't know yet. We'll let you know. Until then, happy contrails to you until we meet again. Thank you again, everyone. I really appreciate your spending some of your day with us here. Bye.
Travel arrangements for overseas acts and promotional consideration furnished by Pan American World Airways, the world's most experienced airline. Pan Am makes the going great. This is Dick Tufeld speaking.
Company is crossing 20 left on the bridge. 20 left, 5 to wait, American.